What's up, folks? It's been a while since I've checked in. I hope you all have been well. If you watched this video, thank you for always checking on me, checking in with me. But I be out here in these highways and byways, trying to do the Lord's work, as best I can. But something that goes along with me in my everyday, in conversations I have with people, whether it's long-term friends or just people I encounter. And if you watch the news and track different things or whatever, try to be, somewhat aware of what's going on. The question that I oftentimes have with people, especially in my age group, I just turned 40 within the last year, almost 41. So you could say, I've been 40 for the better part of a year. If you've been rolling with me for a while, you're like, dang, he 40? When did that happen? It happened last September. But anyway, what are we doing to secure our future? Everybody's out here, and the message is always about being rich or wealthy and getting a big lump sum and quitting your job and not being on somebody's clock. And maybe those are more conversations for future videos. Maybe I'll have some motivation to create more content the way I intend to. But what are you doing to secure your future? What are you doing to secure your family's future? What are you doing to secure a future for your children? Or if it's just you by yourself, the ease of life as you continue to go on. What are you doing to secure your future? I don't care what you see the stock market doing. I don't care what you see this billionaire or trillionaire or these wealthy people doing. Most folks fall into the as the numbers indicate, most people fall into the 95%. The 95% of not making enough, to barely making it, to making it but not much extra, till you got a little bit extra, to even smaller percent of comfortable. I get into these rabbit holes, these financial rabbit holes, financial literacy, different levels of wealth building, different levels of comfort based on your wages and stuff like that. And you would think that, okay, make more money, bet you set. But the prevailing, what the data tells us is that even people who make, and I just had this conversation, not too long ago, people who making $500,000 a year annually. Now take taxes out. Let's say take home is a strong 350. Okay, that's still great for a normal person, but they still report to feel like they're living paycheck to paycheck. And I already did the math. If you just take that 500,000 or so yearly, that's 9,600 a week. Some people don't make that a month. Some people don't make that a quarter. But these people are still feeling like they paycheck to paycheck, over leverage, trying to keep up appearances, trying to, keep up with the Joneses or whatever, what have you. It's just not enough. And I've been saying, you look at the economy and you see the stock market or the S&P 500 or the Dow Jones is saying one thing, but folks on the streets, Main Street, as the politicians say, are saying another thing. But travel hasn't slowed down. Fancy outings and dinners and all this kind of stuff haven't slowed down. And I truly feel like, now I haven't done the research, the in-depth research, but just this is just going off of observations and knowing people in real life, and honestly the kind of money people make in real life. People are foregoing their future to enjoy the now. Now, I'm not saying, don't enjoy now. Don't ever go on a vacation. Don't ever do something nice for you or your partner or your kids or whatever. I'm not saying to never do anything, but people are literally sacrificing their future. And we always look at what bubble in the economy is going to pop. Whether it's AI, whether it's Wall Street again, whether it's the housing market, whether it's what bubble is going to pop. And I believe the retirement bubble is going to pop. People will have nothing to retire. They'll be literally working till they die. Because 65, it was 62, now 65. They talk about moving to 67. And then if we're living longer than ever, 65 ain't retirement, because you won't have anything to retire with. Again, I turned 40 within the last year. That's 25 years to me. You think 25 years is a long time, but 25 years ago still feel like 10 years ago. So it's all relative. So 25 years ain't as long as you think. And so what am I doing today to set me up in 25 years? And a lot of my peers just aren't doing that. And then before you know, we'll be 50. Before you know, 55. Then we'll be 60. And even the Gen X and the boomers now, the ones who coming up into retirement, who's 60 now, and they'll be 65 in a bit, and they're looking at their ledger strong and hard, and hoping the kids can take care of them. Now, in the perfect world, your kids will take care of you, but your kids out here surviving too, trying to survive with inflations is still kicking everybody butt. On goods, on necessities, on housing, on food, on cars, on whatever. If they're trying to raise children, daycare is a mortgage in itself. Then school fee, if they pass daycare age, school fees, because these public schools aren't funded like it was when I was growing up. My parents didn't have to kick out much, but now And then, at least here in my area, charter schools and private schools are a thing now too. So resources are stretched thin, resources are spread everywhere. So those older folks, who hoping their kids take care of their kids trying to survive too, and then the jobs don't have pension plans no more. They want you to invest in a 401k, and then are you knowledgeable enough about portfolios, retirement portfolios, index funds, ETFs, and all that different type of stuff? So what are we doing to prepare for our future? Without hoping that we hit the lotto, or those parlays that we putting in for every single day hit. One of them parlays hit. What are you doing to secure your future? Because nobody's going to be able to save you. Nobody's coming to save you. Whether it's your 401k, whether it's church, whether it's even your family. How much would they be able to take on as far as your elder care? Do you have a home that will be paid off, or do you have a home that you can build some equity with? Everybody talk big. Everybody talk about, I want to do this. I want to get into real estate. I want to get into investment properties. I want to get into stocks and investing is the long game. So people mind don't really think that far, so that's why investing don't appeal to a lot of people. A lot of people think of investing. When they think investing, they think of stuff like futures and investing in what you call day trading. That's what people think about. You buying this, selling that, and that's what. And day trading is cool. You can make a lot of money day trading. You can either look into something, or just, if you really know what you're doing, you really know what you're reading, know how to read those charts and stuff like that, those indicators, you can make some good money day trading. But that's a discipline too. And do people really have the discipline enough to learn it to be effective? To even use it as a supplement? And the answer to that is no. And so long-term investing, whether it be $200 a month into an index fund or something, and allowing that compounding to eventually kick in and shoot that balance to the moon, so you have something, so you're not working till you're 75, 72, you know, because we all expecting nowadays, we expect to make those ages. That's not, you know, old and decrepit like maybe it was, you know, some years ago. 80, you got, the president is 80. So 80's still working, you know. But half of Congress and Senate is 80. So they still working. And so people are going to have to find something to do. Even if it's not you're not chained to a 9 to 5, even if you're an entrepreneur, once you reach that retirement age, whatever it is you do, or how long are you doing it? So you may be an entrepreneur now, but are you setting yourself up for the future? Or are you just an entrepreneur? Are you gainfully employed? Are you investing and doing day trading or whatever your means of gaining resources? Are you only doing that to accumulate for now? Have the fancy car, have the big old house, have the nice clothes and jewelry and all that different stuff, all the vacations, and like people taking 4 or 5 vacations a year, and you know, but then if a repair need to be made in a home, they ain't got it. If their car break down, they ain't got it. If you can't work, what are you living off of? So it's a lot that occupies my mind a lot. And we really have to be more serious about ourselves and about our futures and what are we doing with our lives. Nobody's saying not to enjoy. Nobody's saying not to cherish these moments, not to make memories, not to experience new things, fun. And I like to travel, you know, whether it be Aruba or some island in the Caribbean. I want to make it to Europe and Japan and Africa, the continent of Africa, and explore the countries there. I do want to do that, you know, and I've done a lot of things as well, but you just never lose sight on tomorrow. You know, people always say tomorrow's not promised, and that's true. Tomorrow not promised, but I prepare as if I will be here tomorrow. You know, it's a higher probability that I will be here tomorrow than not. So let me prepare for it. Let me prepare even if I'm going tomorrow, I got kids. What am I leaving them? What type of state am I leaving them in? I may not can take it with me, but I can leave something for them to make their load a little lighter. What are we doing to prepare for our future? Are we serious about our future, or are we just on vibes?